Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we are going to be looking at part 3 of HELSREACH by Richard Boylan. This is specifically the animation he's done for the story, which apparently I found out is actually a short story in the same way that some of the short stories reviewed by TTS in their podcast are actual official short stories. So this is canon to 40K. That said, the animations are done by Richard Boylan, and that is really freaking awesome! Because literally all the times you see something on screen, that's just him being awesome. So on that note, if you see that link down below, which I am pointing to below me, that you will press or have already pressed, by the hand motions I'm doing here with these hands, yes, these, you have pressed it because I did this. This is why I'm doing these really weird motions that I'm sure will never in any way come back to haunt me later. Yeah. It's a good thing I don't do embarrassing things on a video because that would be silly. Yay. All the same, what does this mean? It means that this is still amazing and I just want to watch more. So we're going to do that. I know, shocking. You guys know the drill. Link below, which I already told you about. Let's get started. Ah, yes, there is only war. Beautiful, beautiful word for us to watch. It's so much easier when it's fictional. Ooh, Crash Cityscape. Are those Astra Militarum? Oh, Hades Hive. Oh, this is the inside of a hive. And that would be the Arbites, not the... I think, yeah, that would be the Arbites, I think. Or maybe part of the militia. I wonder if they overlap. Probably. I mean... Isn't Hades... Yeah, orcs. Oh, God, even look orky. Of course they look orky, they're orcs. Dude, I love that effect. That little audio, that is such a nice tone. Showing like the shell shock, how your sound goes away. And, oh, I love that effect. Just little key details like that that are beautiful when done right. Oh, wow, the little squelching noise. That's terrifying when done right. Oh, my God. It's not even overplayed either, it's just there. Also, I love the free floating cam and everything. God, this is beautiful. You're just watching the destruction. Although it is weird that a hive would have a ceiling. Or it's just bright enough that I can't tell. I don't actually know what a hive would look like. I always expected it to not have ceilings. Okay, the guy standing in front of the collapsed building. That is all kinds of badass. Commissar Yerrick? Pretty sure that's Yerrick. Is that where he gets his power claw? Oh my God, is he actually... We're actually seeing the Yerrick fight? That was a thing of beauty. And I improved so much in so many ways I never even knew I could. 57 years later. Oh yeah, Yerrick's super old, isn't he? Please let him walk out, please let him walk out, please let him walk out. I'm more excited for him than the Space Marines. Ooh, big ass transport. I've actually seen the model of this. Someone made like a Forge World unit. It's scary huge. And I want it. I won't ever buy it because it's expensive and I never actually have it on field. Ah. Armor or Dreadnought? Really? That's their salute? I mean, I know it's a double eagle Aquila, but... Huh.
Are you Kirov?
I am.
We are the Emperor's Knights. We are the warriors of the Eternal Crusade and the sons of Rogel Dawn. I am Helbricht,
Calling themselves
High
knights.
Marshal of the Black Templars.
Doesn't that mean they have to be technically on
With
horseback?
me is Bayard, Emperor's Champion. And Grimaldus, Ecclesiarch. We come to offer you our blades, our service, and the lives of over 900
Ecclesiarch has a blade? I
warriors
think
in the
that, like, scepter
defense of
thing.
your world.
Kirov stood in silence. 900 Astartes. Entire star systems were conquered with a fraction of that. I'm glad to hear it. Welcome to Armageddon.
That has so many meanings, and I love that they chose that as a planet name. Although whoever named it in lore has to be considered the biggest idiot ever for calling it that.
Hades' hive will not survive the first week.
He doesn't have the arm?
The man speaking is ancient, and he looks every hour of his age.
Guess maybe it's
Both
attachable.
piety and hate echo in his every word. His name is Sebastian Yarrick.
I was right!
Even we Astartes must respect that name.
Yeah!
What is coming in system
He's the one
now
man who can
far
be a
exceeds
Astartes
what
without
was
actually
laid
being an
waste to the
Astartes.
planet before. The other hives must be reinforced 1,000 times over. Hades will burn.
At our best estimations, Battle Fleet Armageddon, the orbital defenses, and the Astartes fleets remaining in the void will be able to deny the enemy landing for 9 days.
Only.
These are our best estimates.
How big was the fleet?
And the West? 4 days.
Once the orbital war is lost, be it 4 days or 9, our fleets will break from the planet in a
9
fighting
days was
withdrawal.
the optimistic.
From then on, Armageddon will be defenseless beyond what is already entrenched upon the surface.
Damn.
The orcs will be free to land whatever and wherever they wish.
And they'll start repopulating because orcs breathing is
Who will
actually their
lead the
variant of
Astartes
reproduction.
vessels? Given
That's a
his
thing.
seniority and the expertise of his chapter, High Marshal Helbricht of the Black Templars will take overall command of the Astartes fleets. We are to remain in
There were
orbit.
other Astartes?
We are the obvious choice to command the Astartes elements in the orbital battles.
I was wrong. I will not die in futility on this world.
High Marshal, we can slaughter the Greenskin Tyrant before he even sets foot on the world below us.
I have already spoken with the other marshals, my brother. We must leave a contingent on the surface to defend one of the hive cities that yet remains ungarrisoned by Astartes.
That is not our duty, my liege.
And yet, a commander must remain.
It seems like politics is being played.
Don't do this.
It is already done.
No,
This is not the time.
He's
The
setting them
decision
up
is
on a
made,
useless
Grimaldi.
suicide venture.
I know you as I knew Mordred. You will not refuse this honor.
I would
Honor.
burst the great enemy's black heart in my hand and cast his blasphemous
Helbrick
flagship
is
to the
setting this
surface
guy
of
up to die
Armageddon,
in a
wreathed
way
in
he
holy
knows is going
fire.
to kill him. And it'll be useless because they're still going to
Leave me
fail.
here, Helbricht. Do not deny me this glory.
You will not refuse this honor. Wait, brother.
Although I think I might be misreading the situation. It's definitely pissed Grimaldus off. I think what he wanted was not to die in futility. Ooh, I love the look there. And the fact that someone witnessed it. He's gonna kill them somehow, isn't he? Well, I mean, they're all gonna die probably anyway, these orcs, but still. God, I love the facial expressions on him. Not having the mask was so good a choice.
Blood of Dawn. Now that's a sight.
What am I looking at?
Their destination was called, with bleakness so typical of this world, HELSREACH.
And that's what this is named after.
We cannot be the only Astartes strength sent to this city. We will not be alone. The guard is with us.
Is he
And
sticking a
militia
knife into his
forces.
chest?
Humans? The
He just called himself
Legio
not a human.
Invigilata has landed to the east of
I mean,
the
he's
city.
transhuman, but that's still human.
Titans, my brother. I don't see you sneering at that.
That guy's gonna die horribly, isn't he? Like,
How
more
will
than
they
the rest.
defend all this? With blade and bolter.
Love the music choice. Just that good
Faith
soaring
and fire.
music for a good speech. Also, I like how they're doing different camera angles on the faces as they move their head back and forth, because you can't actually see the facial animations like you could with Helbrecht, where his eyes were moving as his eyebrows were, and those alone were really great at personifying him on very few lines. But just seeing how someone moves their head and how they look at someone. Damn! Ooh. Yark is a badass. Glad we got saw this. See this. Also, how can he stand on that sword when it's technically turned? Oh, it was turned off. Okay. If it was turned on, it would have just jumped out of his hand as soon as it hit the ground. Damn! On the backswing too. On his offhand. Something about that blood. I love the theory that Yark's kept alive because the orcs think he can't die. And that was episode 3 of HELSREACH, and I gotta say, I know I've already mentioned it, but I need to say it again. The different implications of personality that is being brought out through the animation. Just the little things, not the vocal cues, which are great. I love every second of the reading. But specifically, how the characters move their head and nod when they're in masks. So you can't see their face. They're less human because you don't see them. And even one of the characters called out in dialogue, those humans, or just humans, because it was the guard. And while, yes, that is a good response to guard as your backup, because you don't go to them for not dying. And if you need someone to die, yeah, they're great at that. Or holding the back line. Also good at that too. But I love how they showed they're inhuman. You don't see their faces. You don't see the expressions. You don't see their humanity. But at the same time, you can get it across because they chose to animate the people in such a way that their every little action was showing emotion and intent. That was so freaking cool. All the way up to just that little moment of that one female guard looking back over her shoulder and seeing Helbrecht's face, where you can see that he knows he just ordered the freaking Grimaldus and his entire little squad to their death uselessly. Which was what, at least unless I'm misreading it, was what Grimaldus was pissed off about, that he was going to die a useless death. And he was like, ooh, maybe I won't die a useless death. Not that he's going to die, but that it'll be useless. And then he's over here, and he's just pissed. He's ignoring Helbrecht. He's storming out, and he knows he's being ordered. It looks, I'm in the like a little politicking. There's just that moment where as soon as he walks out, he's ignored, and his eyes soften. Grimaldus' eyes soften because he realizes how much of a slap in the face that moment was to Grimaldus. Helbrecht softens. Helbrecht, the leader of the the Black Templars, softens his expression because he understands just how much of a dick move he had to do. And a regular human witnesses it. And just the widening of her eyes, seeing an Astartes act human in a way that was understandable. And not just anyone, but freaking Helbrecht. Like, all of that was unsaid, unspoken, not actually tied to the dialogue. That was an animation choice, and it is freaking mind-numbingly brilliant. God, I love every second of this, because it's little things like that that just show so much skill in setting up a scene that you don't need a word. Because writing it, in writing, you know it happens because you have to hear it. So it's a little easier and harder. If you were writing it out, what you would need to do is say it and understand and visualize and then get that across in words in a way that's understandable. But in the visual medium, it's easy to skip over this. Like, oh yeah, she saw that he was upset. But at the same time, understanding what that means, you don't get it spelled out to you. And most good authors won't spell it out, but they'll make sure you come to the right conclusion. Where in the visual medium, it's just a different aspect. Those little things, sometimes they get lost. And in this one, no, it didn't. It was perfect, and I loved every second of it. I can't wait to see what comes next. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of this. You guys know the drill. Link below, original video. You've clicked already? Good. See you guys in the next one. Adios.